Hey there, AfterBuzzers. This is Supergirl, Season 2, Episode 21, Resist. You can't resist coming back.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yeah, you know you like that intro. Oh, yeah. Hey guys, welcome back. This is AfterBuzz TV. And,
Don't help him.
Guys, I got this. This is AfterBuzz TV. I'm your host, Tauri Miller. You can find me at Tauri J. That's TAURIJAY. And I'm joined by a great pantheon of wonderful panelists. Starting from my left, we have Stephanie Wenger.
Hi guys, good to be back with you all. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stephanie Wenger.
Lex Michael.
I am Lex Michael. I am all over social media at the Lex Michael.
Joelle Monique.
Hey, I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joelle Monique and every week at blackgirlnerds.com.
And womaning the chat.
And the Met.
And the Mac chat. Chat Mac.
Chatmackers.
Chatmac. I want that to be my new code name.
Yes.
But since I still have the name Lacretia Lyon, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet since there is only one.
Nice.
Yeah, got it out.
We're off to a real good start, guys. Real smooth. Just real smooth. Sliding in there.
I ruin everything, don't I?
Speaking of smooth and sliding in, guys, get your heads out of the gutter.
Hashtag alien
President Olivia Munson.
Mars.
Bro, I'm done. I'm done, guys. This episode.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Guys,
Yep.
no, thank you. No. I'm sorry. The episode was so good, it just got my mind all out of whack.
There's a lot. It
Yeah.
stands to reason that one would be overwhelmed coming off of an hour like that, because that was as dare I say, jam-packed an hour of television as hours of television get.
Yes, it's true. All the hour was packed full of
jam.
Yes. But you know what's my jam? President Olivia Marsden.
Hell yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Specifically played by Linda Carter.
Yes.
Our favorite Wonder Woman is back in action as the president, and we got a really neat standoff between her and Rhea. I thought it was amazing. Just so many very strong women facing off against one another, and then we get the addition of Cat Grant. Initial impressions of that standoff.
Off camera, I was just saying that I thought the entire episode was such a girl power episode. Like, we had so many strong, powerful characters on the show and it's rare, I feel like, on network TV to get that. And it was like, I think I counted 5 or 6. I mean, it was huge tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was the thing, is I even tweeted that, like, oh my god, so many powerful women in one scene, because you've got Cat Grant, President Wonder Woman, Rhea, Kara, I mean, like, oh my god, and just Cat Grant is the greatest television character of all time.
Oh, the return. Amazing. Yeah.
Well, and in a way, too, where all of these powerful female characters are bringing along all of their own storylines that we've seen present at various points throughout the season. But one thing that I thought this episode did incredibly well, exemplified in the scene that we're talking about, is it brought together all of these threads that we'd spent a whole season going, well, how is this thing going to tie in with this thing? How are we going to weave these all together into one story by the end of the season? And we actually saw them do that to a great and very impressive extent tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Luke Cage when we had a room full of women making decisions, and most of them were police officers, and it was such a beautiful kind of moment. And I'm excited that superheroes are sort of leading the way in powerful women in high up positions.
Yeah, I'd agree. And I think what I really enjoyed about this scene is that, like, typically in stories, the president is running away from the danger, or people are essentially trying to shield them from whatever's happening. But she flew from Washington, D.C. and was like, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna hurt you, and you're gonna leave, bro.
I want to know what her plan would have been if Air Force One had made it all the way there. Because it looked like she only had a couple of jets, right? So was her plan to get, like, to dock alongside it or hover in the air next to the spacecraft, jump out, and then get into the ship and do some fisticuffs?
I think she was going to do, like, a military escort. Like, you need to leave the atmosphere. So here I am on your tail. You need to just proceed to see yourself outside of our ozone and leave us alone. It was really dope. I think we were all like hands over our heads when this moment happened. Mostly because she did it like a straight gangster. She's just like, yeah, so I'm actually here and on the way and behind you, so you could just go now. But I also like that Rhea did not flinch. She's like, oh, really? Okay, cool. Don't worry about this. I got it.
She started blowing them out of the sky
She sure did.
without any effort.
Crazy.
Even the possible invisible jets, because that's what I was assuming she had.
That was her plan with the invisible jets. That would have been amazing.
Nice. Sorry, that took a second to compute. Anyways,
Wonder Woman
Can I
jet.
ask a question? How did you guys feel about Cat Grant's entrance and just emerging on the plane and just being like, "Here's Cat Grant."
Well, I like that she's super casually friends with the president.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And she's getting calls from Madeleine Albright, and like it's great too that we had this moment where it's a great character moment for Kat because it continues to demonstrate how she lets this stuff roll off. She doesn't think about talking to these very powerful figures on the world stage. But I love too that we also had a moment where, and it ties very much into a lot of meta concepts that we're dealing with tonight. Got to throw shade at Bill O'Reilly as well,
Yes,
which was
awesome.
we all danced a little bit because like human garbage monster.
Well, also,
but it's wonderful to see her back, and it's wonderful to see. I'd gotten used to Callista Flockhart not being around anymore because she was gone after the first episode of the first of this season.
Just one, the first one.
And I got used to her not being there, and in getting used to her not being there, I forgot what a fantastic kick she gives this show every time that she's on screen.
Yeah, and it felt flawless with her coming back in.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't feel like, oh, here's, we're using Callista Flockhart on this very special episode of Supergirl. It was like very flawless, her like coming back into this world. And I loved the scenes in the office with her where she was like, my candle goes there, like this smells like a gym. I don't get it.
I'm gonna have to burn sage for years.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go.
No, I'm pivoting.
Okay, I was just gonna say I love too that Cat Grant at the beginning of the season ostensibly left to go find herself, and it seems like she did. It seems like she really grew and learned about humanity and love and what the purpose of all of it is, and it was really cool to see her not only have succeeded in this little personal quest of hers, but to be able to then turn around and impart that wisdom to Kara again in that alleyway. That scene was fantastic.
This moment where she's like, this is still so cool, and you get like the Supergirl burst. It's amazing to see someone who is so powerful and so cool and able to handle just any situation still be in awe of somebody, and to have that person be Supergirl. My whole heart was warm during this episode. It was really sweet.
And that was what we've been missing with Kat gone, is these great advice moments with Kara and with Supergirl. And that's the thing, is all of it just came back like it hadn't been gone. And that's what I loved, is like there was no misbeats in this episode with Kat's return and everything. And Almira Bratt brings up the pot brownie story. That was literally the greatest thing I've ever heard. She's like, I thought it was the pot brownie, but I did see E.T. and then the shower. It's like, oh.
Also, too, that it took her all of probably 4 seconds tops to figure out that James was Guardian.
Of course.
Which is amazing. It's like, hon, I can see your eyes right there.
Yeah.
He's also the only 6'4" dude in National City.
Sure.
But-
What is he?
He's the only
Is he the only 6'4" dude in
Or
National City?
black dude who's missing in action in National City.
Well, we did
More
get that moment
qualifiers, more
before where
asterisks.
she was like, where's James? Like, he's out being a coward. And you for sure know that she's not believing. You hung out with Superman. You can't be a coward, bro. Like, that's not how that works. But I also do like that. She's like, I can see your eyes. And so, like, you could see all of Kara's face.
I love it.
And you still don't know if she's Supergirl. So.
Again, though, it goes back to the writers being super self-aware on this show. Like, it's a total, like, toss to the audience that everyone knows that it's, like, super clear, and yet, of course, she knows James is Guardian. Like,
Right.
that's hilarious and amazing to me. And again, the writers of the show, you were mentioning it earlier, they do such a good job of tying up their loose ends, and we're
Right.
seeing that going into next week.
And I love this comment from the chat. Starman934 says, I kind of wish Harrison Ford was on that plane with Kat. Of course, not anybody.
Oh my gosh, he was
He'd
a
be
pilot.
dead.
I'd have been done.
Yeah, and they would have been done, right?
Yeah.
No.
Ah, man. So
shame.
I also, speaking of how good the writers are, we have this moment where Kat is essentially creating a distraction for Kara and Alex's factions to do their thing, and she does this really big, amazing speech about resisting and not just like letting everyone be taken over. And I thought it was a really well done speech. It like did a good job of kind of nudging at things that we are currently dealing with.
There's certainly more than one context, yes.
Yeah. So I felt like it's a speech to me that rivals the like Independence Day speech, like something that you could look back at and be like, this is something that would wake me up in the morning, or like I'd get up and would inspire you.
It's a good group inspiration speech too, because it's the idea of like, you are not alone in this, and if all of you join together, like what could they possibly hope to do? They have no idea what we are capable of. I wanted to go out and like, not riot in the street, but like, I don't know, enthusiastically build a home. Like,
Yes.
I was like, get your stuff together. We have things to do.
Like, I like that the idea of like an anti-riot is just go out and really aggressively build stuff.
Yes. Britt, go.
This road needs to be fixed!
Joelle fixed 16 potholes last night. It was
He's
insane.
out of control, Tauri.
Oh god.
Oh man. Kind of circling back to Linda Carter, we got a backstory for her character in that she was an alien refugee.
Yes.
And it explained why her character was so all about allowing aliens to live on Earth and taking people in. And I thought that was a really good way of bringing it in, because usually John is the one to be like, I was an alien and I came here and my people were killed.
Right, and we had to sideline John this episode so that David Harewood could play Cyborg Superman.
Yes.
Sidebar, this is maybe the first time, this is the same voice he's always been speaking in, right?
Yeah.
This is the first episode where I think I really keyed into the David Harewood Cyborg Superman voice. It might be the greatest thing that there is.
Really? What are you enjoying about it? Is it just the gruffness?
The
or-
gruffness, the tiny little bit of distortion on it, and the fact that it's just like, what a fun choice. I like it. It's that simple. There's really nothing to read into. It's just like, this is great. More of this. Why don't all the characters talk this way?
And it's crazy because it makes you forget that he's British. So like in his usual life, it's a lot more high pitched. It's very like and dignified. But like whenever he's playing an American, it's real gruff. And I love it.
Oh gosh.
But speaking of Cyborg Superman, we got the return of Cadmus this episode, which was really great. We had, I guess not prophesied, but we had essentially speculated that Cadmus would team up with the main team to take down this bigger threat.
Sure did.
And we were super right.
We were.
Which I liked, because it showed that like even though Lillian is a fairly deplorable character, she still has love for her daughter, which I thought was really sweet.
Yeah, okay. She didn't leave her daughter to die.
Yes.
So there's that. I think the vibe I'm getting, and this is my train of thought as well, I think it's less about love for her daughter and more about not wanting the planet where she also lives to be dominated and obliterated by extraterrestrials.
Well, even saving Lena doesn't feel like, oh my god, my daughter, I love you, and you're so smart. Like, it feels more like, well, I'm not gonna let a Luther die in space at the hands of some grubby-ass aliens. Like nothing feels like it's done out of, like, love or respect, even. Because if it was, there's no way you leave Supergirl behind. Not because you like her or anything, but like she held up her end of the bargain fully, and then that totally derogatory line of like she'll die with her own people. Like, who the hell are you? Oh, I hate her so much.
But like Kara herself said in this episode, at least she is consistent.
Yeah, it's true though. But I disagree. I think that like there was definitely a feeling of love, like that moment when they're reunited. I feel like she genuinely wanted her daughter free of these aliens, and she like wanted her to change and be a part of her team.
Yes, but again, I think that has more to do with I don't want these gross aliens to get to kill a Luthor, like Joelle was saying. And also, I agree that she definitely wants Lena to be part of Cadmus, but whether Lena wants to or not. I don't,
they're not really worried about like what Lena wants to be a part of or like what she might bring to the team. It's just like, you're my kid, this is what you're supposed to do. Why aren't you doing it? And I felt so bad because Lena, it's like you came and you see like all of this like relief and this flood of love like wash over her of like, my mom came for me. And I'm like, don't fall for it, your mother's evil.
That was how I felt. It was like, oh, I want to save her life, but I don't actually care about her well-being. And I don't know if that's love.
You know, it's a psychopath sort of love. The thing about psychopaths is, like, a lot of times, I mean, you know, the definition between psychopath and sociopath is a little bit different, but as far as psychology terms, it would be psychopathy. And they only are capable of having feelings for their offspring and the fact that that is a part of them, and that is what they love. And that's what I see with Lillian, is she still wants Lena to be like her. She doesn't like Lena or really love Lena as a person. It's just an extension of her. That's me getting psychology.
I don't know, guys. I feel like for Lillian, Cadmus is like going to college, right? You want your kid to go to college, and your kid's like, I don't want to go to college. I want to be something else, or I just want to do something else. And then she's like, hey, you should go to college. It's what's best for you. And, you know, it's just that whole thing where she views Cadmus and alien hating as, like, the ultimate destination. But, you know, Lena doesn't see it that way. It's a whimsical misunderstanding, guys.
Whimsical? Maybe.
Yeah.
It feels more like a prejudice misunderstanding.
Yeah, it's a little too hateful to be whimsical.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a slightly hateful misunderstanding.
I was gonna say, like, whimsical is generally on the happy side of things, and this is certainly on the, like, dark, awful side of things.
We can maybe give it, like, jaunty if they have smiles on while they do all the terrible things that they're doing.
They also have to sing and dance if it's going to be jaunty.
Lillian smiles a lot.
Yeah,
I think.
I don't see her skipping, though. But you can issue the order. It's like, while you wipe out these alien invaders, you must all skip and smile and sing. And they all start, they're like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And they all start doing it, and she's just like, she walks away from the console and just lets them all.
I love it. I would watch this show.
But definitely not whimsical.
Okay, fine. Semantics aside, I think there's love. That's my thesis statement. You accept it as you will. My dissertation has been written. I'll be graduating in the fall. All right.
I'm gonna write a counter to this dissertation.
I was like, I feel like your table kind of disagrees with you.
But the thing is, I do think there is a gray area, which touches on what Lacretia was saying. I do think, in a weird way, this is Lillian's version of love.
Yeah.
It's just a version of love. Right. Yeah. It's just a version of love, very far removed from anything healthy,
Well,
certainly.
I have a question. Okay, so at one point, Lillian to Supergirl asks her, like, you know my identity, but you didn't tell Lena. Why? And she says, you know, because when she finds out who you are, she's going to hate you. Do you guys feel, first of all, that Lena will hate you? Like, hate Supergirl for keeping a secret? It's this secret, that she keeps her secret identity from her.
I personally do not. One, because Supergirl herself has never slighted Lena.
Yeah.
There's never been a reason for her to feel ill will towards Supergirl. So finding out that your best friend is also Supergirl is like having your peanut butter with your chocolate with your peanut butter. It's like my best friend just got better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Totally.
all right. I was like, where is this
Two
metaphor
great
going?
tastes. It tastes great together.
But I agree. I can definitely see her being shocked and maybe needing a minute, but I definitely think that this is an instance of Lillian underestimating her daughter, and I think it's because Lillian herself doesn't understand that people are more forgiving than that, and people are more loving than that. Right?
This is why I don't think Lillian loves Lena.
And I agree, and I think the question really is whether she should or will she be, and those are two different answers. She shouldn't be angry, but she may be angry as a plot point on the show.
The chat have anything to say about this? I'm curious.
Yeah, the chat, like, Helena Needs Hugs says, I have faith in Lena. And David Elmer brings up, I think that pretty sure Lena already knows. And to me, just like Cat Grant, on some level they know. And two, yes, we had Martian Manhunter pretend to be Supergirl while Kara was there to fool Cat, but we know she pretty well knows.
Right.
And same thing with Lena, is I think she knows. She's just like, you know, why say anything?
There is a part of me though that is concerned about too many people just figuring out that Kara is Supergirl. It's different than figuring out James is Guardian, because since the inception of the Superman character, we've just accepted this device that like when he's wearing a different outfit. Maybe in some stories they go a little further. It's like, well, you should study acting so you carry your body differently, and you know, so that'll really throw people. But we've always accepted this device that all he's got to do is mess up his hair a little bit and throw on glasses, and nobody can figure it out. The second you have a couple of characters start to figure out what should be obvious to everybody on a show like this, you start to chip away at the believability of this already slightly hard to believe device. Does that make sense?
I agree with you. One, and two is that I think that you also start to change the dynamic of the show. As soon as more people know, then it becomes kind of this group of people against the world, rather than oftentimes it's Supergirl with like an assist from the DEO.
Well, so I guess that raises the question: if they were to pull like a Tony Stark with Supergirl, in that she essentially comes out as Supergirl, Kara and Supergirl are the same person, do you think that would detract from the show or only add to it because she has to now try harder to balance these dual lives?
Well, I feel like the problem you would see there is the problem you end up seeing in comics. Anytime any character outs their secret identity publicly, it completely changes the dynamic in a way that is often really interesting for a little while.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And then pretty soon you go, but how do we get back to telling the types of stories that people go to this character for, without doing some type of weird like time shift or rebooting our continuity so that suddenly everybody doesn't
I think it's
know
a solid
anymore.
like we have 2 seasons, max 3 seasons left, and we need to pivot the direction of the character, because when you out yourself as a superhero, now all of a sudden like we can't see Kara struggling to advance as a journalist. Like you won't be a good journalist anymore. Everyone will know who you are. You come with a backstory. They're pandering to you. That doesn't quite work. But we could see like, how does Kara handle fame, and how does she handle being Supergirl 24/7, 365? Because now she could take off the costume and have a break. But if everyone knows who she is, then you never get a day off. I think it'd play a lot of interesting storylines. I don't know. I don't think it could play out forever, though.
It's like on a sitcom when characters have a baby. Like, that is ultimately most of the time on a sitcom.
The number of shows where they have a baby, and then you watch for the duration of the show, everything that's left, they try to figure out how to sideline this baby as effectively as possible so that we can go back to telling the types of stories we used to. But like Joelle, like you were saying, like maybe the last couple of seasons, like the biggest difference between a TV show and a comic book series, assuming they're both doing well, is that the TV show is usually more finite. I mean, these characters have existed in comic books for the better part of 100 years, and you know, like it's common to say comic books are basically all second act and you can't really end. So every time you do a big, like, everyone knows my secret identity now, eventually you will have to walk that back. But when you're telling what will inevitably be a finite story, like in the case of this TV show, you can, like the last year or two, you can do something really big and let it play out as part of your end game.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a fascinating final season. Like, I would love it if Supergirl was revealed and then we had a final season of what that looks like. That would be really interesting, but I don't think we're ready for that now.
Right.
No.
We've got a lot that happens before that.
Yeah.
And I love, just bringing up a little bit from the chat to go tag team on that. Ivan Soto, as well as a lot of people, are bringing up, well, Lena knows Mon-El is Mike Matthews. So, I mean, his disguise is just glasses as well. So, pretty sure she probably put that together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I don't mind. I don't think, as long as we don't break the device, it's okay. Yeah. Of course, you'd see through anybody else using only glasses as a disguise. But I feel like we have to draw the line at that almost 100 years old device now.
Maybe.
When we don't literally have to.
Maybe.
But I feel like the second one person sees through that incredibly obvious disguise, everybody has to start seeing it, or it doesn't make, unless the person who sees it has like
powers.
Super. I see the obvious powers.
Yeah, they roll 20 on perception, bro. D&D. Speaking of secrets, it's no secret that we love doing this show.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also great for you to identify yourself as people who also love this show. And the best way to do that is to go onto iTunes and rate, subscribe so you get this show in your inbox feed. I know how internet works. In your feed every week. And also leave a comment after you rate us with hopefully 5 stars if you love what we're doing. And we read those on the air for you. So, Lacretia Lyon, do you have any sweet reviews for us?
Oh boy, do we have 2 sexy
sexy
5-star
boys.
reviews.
Sexy
Sexy
5 stars. I wonder if there's some sweet jazz that can be played in the background while you read these sexy reviews.
Just vamp for a second. Just vamp.
Oh man,
Sexiness.
so sexy.
Duke
Let's get them
Silver.
started. I'm sure it'll come
Sensual,
in.
sultry jazz.
Oh yeah, Caramel Forever, 5
Oh.
stars from Prodigal 358. Love the after show. You are all amazing. The only way for Kara and Mon-El to be more cute together is Kara comes home to see Mon-El reading a book and is crying. She goes over to him and see he's reading Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows. When he asks if he is okay, he sobs out the name Dobby. And she gives him a big hug to comfort him. I like that.
Dang, son.
Yeah. We got one more super sexy 5-star review from JJ4852. Super after show. Tauri and his super friends are the reason that I give Supergirl a second chance this season. Your enjoyment, praise, and critique of the series gave me pleasure. Keep up the super great work.
Dang.
Thanks.
Those some good reviews.
That's so sweet.
And if you leave a comment, we'll read yours as well in our super sultry voices. I do. Oh, you might be thinking, I watch on YouTube. I listen on Stitcher. Well, all you gotta do is give us a thumbs up. Hey, leave a comment on YouTube. And what? Do we read those? You god dang right we do.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So make sure you keep supporting this show, because we love doing it. Yep.
That music cut was everything. Thank you.
And we actually have the best comment I have ever seen.
Oh.
Jason Moss in the chat says, I hope SNL does a skit of this panel.
Wow.
That needed to be repeated.
That'd be
Yeah.
neat.
And we
Yeah.
are all played by Cade McKinnon.
Okay, you know what? Winning.
Keenan,
Definitely
bro.
I mean, I would be Leslie.
I was like, well, all right, fair enough.
Okay, guys.
Fair enough.
Well, I'm Kate McKinnon.
You would
I don't know about
obviously
the
be
rest
Kate
of you.
McKinnon.
Right.
She was sexy
Okay.
voice,
Yeah.
ridiculousnly.
Great,
Yeah.
Ugh.
Huh.
And you'll be special guest Kristen Wiig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
There goes our egos.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there was a sweet wedding happening this episode.
Oh, red dress. I live for it.
Oh my gosh. Guys, I don't know if you know this. I'm not sure I've mentioned it before, but I
talk about?
might have the tiniest crush on Lena.
Who knew?
I might have a little
Brand
bit
new
of a heart thumperoony.
That is
for
brand new
that
information.
lady. I
had
know.
no idea.
I know.
Wouldn't have called that.
Never mentioned it.
Never heard that before.
Yeah.
And that dress was especially heart thumpificating. Yes.
Wow. Yeah,
it
not a
made-
word, but-
yes. It
How about we go for beautiful? Nice? No?
it
Just-
got
It doesn't have the poetry of heart thumpificating.
yeah. Stop trying to put words in my mouth.
That just comes out like a stream, just like a babbling brook.
Yeah. Don't be an editor to Shakespeare. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Wow. Talk about egos.
Oh,
My word.
It took a real turn.
Yep.
So yeah,
always the
we get
reverse.
that great dress as Rhea is trying to force Mon-El and Lena to get married.
I like that she's doing the whole ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, isn't time a factor here?
I also like that she not only is doing the whole ceremony, but she's like, I will blow up this children's hospital if you do not get married. I don't need you to be married because I can make the baby on my own. But you still must follow through with the ceremony or thousands of children. Like, that's just the most evil, like, self-absorbed plan ever.
Yeah.
And Terry Hatcher is just killing it. I
Yeah,
just
she
have to
is.
say, like, I've only seen her be sort of like more of an ingenue type character.
Mm-hmm.
And to see her as a badass villain, like pretty well the most evil person we've had in this Supergirl universe, is awesome. Because, yeah, she's like, well, screw these children. Y'all need to get married. Like, you know, you guys gotta be the king and queen of Daxam, which really destroys my theory that Lena was actually Rhea's. Because that's
Mother.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be gross. But also, baby Rhea just wants
No.
to keep the bloodline pure. You just
That's
never
true.
You know, some people are like that.
Yeah.
You know?
And Rhea strikes me as someone who would be like that. You know, like, hey, only family. Ugh, gross.
Yep. I'm just gonna skate
Yeah.
through that one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what did you guys think about her plan to marry them? Even though it's just ceremony, do you guys feel like the Daxamites needed this wedding to happen, or it was just something that she concocted and was like, I'm gonna follow through?
Well, to me, there's no way that was her entire plan. She just, right? Okay, she needs the genetic material to make an heir, right? But that doesn't really mean anything for her if Mon-El is still alive, right?
Right.
So in my head, I'm going, so does she plan to marry them, wed them together, have create some offspring from their hair, or however they do it? Those are a little unclear, but hair apparently is enough.
That's all Daxamite needs.
You just need some DNA.
Get some hair from everybody while they sleep,
Yeah.
like you do when you're
So
queen,
creepy.
and you put it in a little pot, and you get a little mortar and pestle, and you put it in there with like some
Right.
ginger
Yeah.
and some stuff, and the baby comes out.
Totally.
But once she has that heir,
You don't want a ginger baby. Just so you
Will
know.
the baby
I
have
see.
a belly button?
What-
So many questions.
why would it, right? Probably because
Yeah.
you need an actor to play that part
Yeah.
eventually if that baby grows up. But like,
Well, it-
They
point
wouldn't
being,
have a belly
Yes.
button.
point being, if Mon-El is still alive, there's a direct, I would think, if the line of succession works on Daxam the way it worked on Earth for so many years when there were a lot more kings and queens on the planet, would she not have to eliminate Mon-El to have direct access to this new heir and control as she saw fit?
Well, I mean, technically she should already have control now. And also, it's not like she's wedding Mon-El to, like, our ruler over. It's not like she's wedding Mon-El to, like, Linda Carter's character. She's essentially wedding her to a tech mogul, which has no meaning on Earth. So, like, maybe she's trying to merge their genes because she's like, her smarts and your charmingness, we're unstoppable.
I got more of the sense that she was like, okay, so I'm taking over the planet, so regimes don't really matter anymore. Like, whoever's running this place, I don't care. I'm going to flatten them. I think she was more... She kind of was saying earlier that she wanted Mon-El to be like a ambassador of sorts. She was like, you know the people, and we've got to merge Earth and our culture because this is our new home. So
Right.
I kind of felt that she was like, if you have a human wife and like a half alien, half human baby, then the humans will be more accepting of our total control over them.
Yeah, but usually those interactions are to get both sides on board, and like the humans have no stock in Lena. There's no reason why the humans would be like, oh, well, he married Lena? I guess we have to follow. Like, there's no it's not like we are a monarchy and she's merging.
This is what I'm stuck on. Is like,
She's
well,
not
how
Princess Diana here.
how
Right.
patriarchal is Daxam as a culture, I guess,
Yeah.
is what this comes to. And we don't explicitly have an answer to this question, but if we did, I think it would explain away most of what we're discussing at this moment.
Right.
I honestly think she's just not that concerned about it. Like, I think she's like, well, no, I like this Earth human. She's like the only one I like, so she's got to marry my kid because of what we're saying. So everybody else will just have to deal. Like, I really don't think she's concerned about the hierarchical systems or even like if you don't agree, like she'll just kill you.
They
Right.
just wanted a hot genius baby. I mean, and we
Which-
also have a recipe for how to make a Daxam baby in the chat here. Curtis Pearson says, twist both hair strands together, place in a pot with water, bam, now you have a Daxam baby.
Wow.
Ah,
Oh.
that's really
It's
easy.
just that simple.
Explain
It's
it.
just
Great.
that easy.
It's
They're
like
gonna
sea
repopulate
monkeys.
the Earth so fast.
Yeah,
So
so
the-
like Groots.
But hang on. So let's drop all of the hierarchy consideration for a second. It does make sense to me that at this point she's pushed and pushed and pushed, and it seems like her son Mon-El is not going to side with her over Kara and planet Earth. So maybe we create this baby out of my son, and like the only person that I like and don't want to kill quite as badly, and then we create a new baby and I like it's genetically sound and it's fun, and then I'm gonna raise it to be grumpy and evil just like me, so that one day when I'm no longer here, I know that this little baby that whose brain I pollute from birth will
Right.
do exactly what I do.
All right, I can understand that because yes, in her
I'm just trying to
eyes,
think, like, what's like
Mon-El
her
is
end game to
irredeemable.
doing this all like right now?
I don't know. I feel like it feels ceremonial for ceremonial's sake, as if like she can't move forward without him being married to someone,
Right.
Or like, it feels like it should be something that's supposed to motivate the Daxamites for them to be like, look at us, we're setting up shop and doing marriages.
Yeah, like, look at all this, like the pomp and circumstance as an indicator that this is what we're doing is great and we're on the right track. And
Right.
look at how fine everything is. We're having a royal wedding.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, everyone loves a royal wedding. That's one thing Rhea knew about our country, is that we love royal weddings.
Right.
And that we would just stop, like, freaking out. It's like, oh my god, royals are getting married? That's what she baked on.
Yeah.
She,
Especially
Yeah.
the Starks, they love weddings.
oh, yeah. And red weddings. Oh.
Okay. All right. Calm down, Joelle.
Mm-hmm.
You calm down.
Stabbed her in the stomach and she's pregnant.
Anyways, I mean, so we had this storyline with a positron laser that was like basically aiming at the ship, and it was a race against time and space, and the positron laser got destroyed by Superman.
Yes.
And that's how we end the episode with Superman fighting Kara. Superman.
Oh, okay, so
Fighting
I have some
Kara.
super complicated feelings about this. I guess now, like
Super.
I trust this entire creative team, so I have a feeling that any hangups I have, like, will be my worries will be assuaged next week. Real quick before we go to the ending, there's one moment I just want to shout out in this episode. It's where Mon-El and Lena get freed, and Kara essentially gets to do that thing that we've all watched dudes do in movies since there have been movies, where she gets to kiss her love interest, send them on their way, and then go about her business like saving the world. That was dope.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
amazing.
That was
so
glad.
good.
Like the girls are all like, yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm like, hell yes.
I'd save that Pretty Prince any day.
Like that was great. That made my heart sing a little bit. The Superman thing, less so, not because I'm really that worried that these guys are going to drop the ball on the finale, more that I'm a little burnt out on Superman fights other heroes stories in general, not just in live action. I'm not picking on any one specific
Aren't
movie.
you?
I'm actually no. I'm actually.
I
I'm
know.
actually not, because I feel like more so than any other character, to create a scenario where Superman is fighting to kill another hero, you essentially have to strip away the character of Superman completely.
Right.
And I'm like, but like, why?
I can kind of think about why, but only in predictions.
Oh.
Yep.
Your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
You can't just spring that on a guy.
I was like, I was.
You gotta be ready on the trigger when Tauri's at the helm.
Segueing in, I was like, but only. Anyways, why don't you guys?
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Let's do a quick round of predictions. I mean, my hypothesis is that he is mind controlled, which doesn't strip away his character. It just makes him easily mind controlled, which we've established is a thing in this universe.
It is like last year, his
Yes.
lack of presence in the finale hinged on him being brainwashed by Myriad,
Yes.
and wandering through the streets with everybody else.
Correct. So, it's also consistent. But what do you guys think is going to happen in the season finale of Supergirl?
It looks like whatever is going on with Superman is resolved rather quickly. Now, we know that the previews have been rather short and snippy, which I prefer. You don't want to give away the story.
Well, all we know for sure that happens in the finale is Kara fights Superman, Kara fights Rhea. One fight happens in what looks like a fountain, one fight happens on what looks like a building.
Correct.
But my prediction has nothing to do with Superman. I think the moms are teaming up. Yes, a full week after Mother's Day, I think we're going to get Rhea and Lena? No. Lillian, thank you. To team up together to come to some kind of, like, agreement. Now, what that agreement is, I don't know. But if Rhea is backed into such a corner that she's like, I just need to leave Earth, she and, you know, Lillian might have some things to talk about. And I would like to see evil moms teaming up to do evil things.
All right. That'd be interesting.
The next movie with Mila Kunis, Evil Moms.
Yeah.
Evil moms. Yeah, that, and I don't think we're going to get, as much as we're tying up a lot of threads from this season, I think there are definitely going to be a few things I can't imagine we're going to have time for. I definitely think Cadmus is going to remain a lingering threat into next season. Right. We don't know where Jeremiah is at this point.
Correct.
Yeah. We figured, like, where there was a cyborg Superman, there might also be a Jeremiah, but not this day.
Nope.
As it turns out.
Steph, what do you think?
I just want some more relationship stuff. I know that, like, it's going to be an action-packed episode, it looks like from the preview, but I'm really excited to see kind of where Mon-El and Supergirl end up at the end of this season.
Yeah, we got a little admission of love, so we might get that. What do you think, Lacretia? You got anything left?
Yeah, I mean, I do see that. I think Cadmus is not done, but I do feel like this will sort of be an end of Rhea's arc, unfortunately. But that's why I hope Jeremiah shows up. You know, and maybe we get an explanation to that so we can reunite Lois and Clark there.
It would seem to be like, what a close missed opportunity if they don't get a single scene together.
Yeah. I can't imagine it not happening. Like, I feel like they know what they have there. Like,
yeah.
And then, like, the Superman stuff probably is the first act of the episode, so once they deal with that, how present will Clark be in assisting with this threat? Because the final fight, what looks like the final fight, is very mano-a-mano.
Yeah.
So how involved is the rest of the team?
Yeah. It feels like he might get fully taken out so that we can have that last showdown.
Yeah.
And our last showdown will be next week here on AfterBuzz TV. For the season finale, make sure to join us here, live if you can, at 10 o'clock Monday night. We're here every Monday, and make sure to follow us on social media. You can catch me at Tauri J, Taurijay, and Stephanie Wenger.
At Stephanie Wenger, and you can also check out Pretty Little Liars after show tomorrow night, Tuesday.
Lex Michael.
I am all over social media at the Lex Michael, and also Arrow has 2 more episodes this season. Tauri J and I are going to be over there talking about that. I also talk about Fargo every Thursday. Come join us. We love you. Mwah.
Joelle Monique.
Hey guys, I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joelle Monique, every week at blackgirlnerds.com. Thursdays here at AfterBuzz doing Genius, followed by Handmaid's Tale, followed by the Knife'a Hour. Woo! I love Thursdays. Wednesdays I'm at Schmo's Nose, and Mondays I do Gotham and Sense8, which are also great shows. So check them out.
Great. Lacretia Lyon.
Hey guys, since I'm Lacretia Lyon, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one. Be sure to stay tuned if you're still up for the Better Call Saul after show right after this show. And I may be joining Tauri J on the Flash after show tomorrow. And who knows, maybe Arrow. I don't know what's going on this week, guys.
Nice. We look forward to it. And until next week, have a super time.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Resist! Call your senators!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.